Today on four wheels rather than two. Now, if you want to know what it's like to pilot a cake of soap at more than 200 kilometres an hour, then jump behind the wheel of a superkart. Looks can deceive, but there are very few machines that can match these low-slung races around this tight creek circuit. To call the action, here is Greg Rust and Alan Jones.
Thank you very much, Ken. Yes, indeed, a very apt description of the superkarts. Alan Jones, the 1980 World Formula One champion, is with us in the commentary box. Alan, these are very exciting karts.
They are indeed, Greg, and good morning. Yes, it's basically we have two races in one here. We've got 250cc national class and 250cc international class. Now, quite quickly, all that means is that one is one cylinder with a maximum of 250cc, and the international class is two cylinders with a capacity of 250cc. Now, one produces about 80 horsepower, the other one produces about 100 horsepower. In terms of power to weight, that means that the international class has a 1.95 kilo per 1 horsepower power to weight ratio, but the little national class, or I shouldn't say little national class, or less powerful national class, has a 2.17 kilo per horsepower. So in terms of power to weight, that is about the same as a modern-day Formula One car.
The footage that you're seeing at the moment is none other than Charlie Lambus, the reigning New South Wales Superkart champion. We'll give you all of the vision from his kart as they make their way around this particular support race for the 1996 Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix. 6 laps is the distance, and of course you saw there just a moment ago none other than the 1993 World 500cc motorcycle champ Kevin Schwantz. He's in this one. He could be very exciting.
Indeed, he was very exciting on Friday. He had a tyre go down on him going down the straight at over 200 kilometres an hour. He was able to pull it up safely, but he got very close to the wall at one stage of the game, so it certainly got his attention. You can see this guy now. I believe that's Charlie Lambus. We've got the camera on him. He's weaving backwards and forwards. He's on slick tyres, and that's to bring the tyres up to temperature, or to try and get them up to as much temperature as he can before he starts. And you'll find there's Kevin Schwantz there with the famous number 34, the number that carried him to victories here at Eastern Creek on a 500 bike, and of course also the World 500cc Championship. So a new and thrilling experience for Kevin Schwantz.
Certainly is a man who, of course, is doing big things in NASCAR at the moment. Did a little bit of super touring racing as well after he made the switch from 2 wheels to 4 halfway through 1995. So we'll keep an eye on the progress of number 34. Kevin Schwantz throughout the course of this one. We watch the field as they come down to the line. You see Charlie Lambus there on the inside. You see also kart number 25. That's Ron Valentine from South Australia. The meat in the sandwich is kart number 56. That is David Baker. He was exciting yesterday.
He was indeed. Now, these have got hand clutches, and being 2 strokes, you can either give them too much fuel to start with or not enough. So if you give them too much acceleration, they'll fuel up, and of course, if you don't, they bog down. So it's a real art to get off the line on these things.
No warm-up lap for these guys. They have had their sighting lap, you might say. That's Charlie Lambus. Look at him. He looks focused. Baker just on the inside of him, and Valentine is on the very inside, closest to the wall. Now, Alan Jones mentioned, of course, that at this circuit here at Eastern Creek, whilst Charlie is on the outside, and we probably think that's not the place to be. The speeds they get through turn 1, it really is the place to be.
Well, it is, because turn 1 for them is flat anyway. They just take it flat chat. They don't even bother braking. So on the outside, they give them a nice quick line through it.
Listen for the revs as they start to rise. Red lights on display. Now we've got a green light. A much better start from Valentine this time around. The South Australian takes the lead as they go down to turn 1 for the first time. Lambus, though, another bad start from him.
Yeah, he did a bad start yesterday, but he certainly came good. So this will make it for an interesting race. He'll come through. Watch them slide around now until they get absolute racing heat in these tyres.
Down into turn number 2, treacherous turn 2. They take 2 bites of the cherry through here. It's a double apexer. In once, out wide, in again, and out wide as they head towards turn number 3. Valentine is your leader from South Australia in the Castrol machine. He runs an engine that was owned previously by Craig Connell, the 1995 Australian 250cc Grand Prix champion. It's a Yamaha machine, and he currently leads 2 karts that have the much preferred Rotax twin.
Oh, Kevin Schwantz out already. Deary me.
Bad luck for him. The fans, you can hear them in appreciation for Schwantsy, but bad luck. That's not the way for him to go out. He was really looking forward to a great race here. Now let's see what's happened.
It looks like he's got a little bit of a touch-up, or he may have seized again. These things, of course, you want to try and run them as lean as you possibly can, because they produce more horsepower that way. But if you go too lean, they'll snap up on you.
Now, there you see it. He looks very upset with himself in regards to that. That just shows the kind of aggressive nature that Kevin Schwantz has. We have an inside move from kart number 2. This is Jared Sievert from South Australia, one man who has represented Australia so superbly in superkarting terms, has been to Silverstone and flown the flag for Australia on several occasions. Didn't have a great run yesterday, had to come from the rear of the grid, fought his way up to 8th place, so it was a good run. Here comes Baker now. Baker snaps to the inside in kart number 56, gets an inside running past Valentine as they come down the front straight.
Well, Valentine may try and go around the outside of him, may try and hold his line. Oh, no, he's relenting. No, there you go, see? He actually, in this particular instance, because that corner is flat out, under normal circumstances, if that was a touring car or a bigger open wheeler, the guy on the outside would definitely have to relent. But these things go around there flat anyway, so he just stuck to his line.
Carbon fibre and fiberglass, Alan, feature very prominently on these karts. Just how important is the aero package?
Oh, very important. I mean, these things, they need all the help they can get, but that bodywork is all enveloping, and the lower the driver can get down, the quicker he's going to go down the straight.
All right, they make their way now down in towards turn number 4 here at Eastern Creek. Your leader at this point in time is kart number 2, Jared Siebert from South Australia in the Zip BDH, and Valentine, also a South Australian, doing a good job at the moment to hold out Baker, the hard-charging New South Welshman who finished, of course, second in last year's New South Wales Championship chase. We're going to keep an eye out for Charlie Lambus, the man who is the reigning New South Wales champ. He's had a lot of experience, but at the moment he is well down in proceedings as they make their way out of turn number 9. It appears that Lambus is down in 5th place at this point in time. He'll be making some progress. In fact, now up towards turn number 11 and 12. Your leader is Siebert from Baker, and then it's Valentine.
And what a storming drive from Siebert. I mean, he started 33 on the grid yesterday because of mechanical problems in practice, finished 8th in yesterday's race, and now is leading today's race. I mean, fantastic. Oh, here we go, another little lock-up.
We've had a spinner there. That is kart number 15, Gary Butcher. Bad luck for him in the BP machine, possibly a seizure. He'll take no further part in proceedings. So across the strike they come. Folks, at this particular stage with Jared Siebert leading it, we'll take a short break and come back on the other side of this. Welcome back. It's nice to have your company here at Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway for the running of the 1996 Australian Motorcycle Grand Prix. What we're watching at the moment, of course, folks, is the Superkart support race. 3 laps down, I should say. We're at the halfway mark, just on 3 to go. Baker is the leader from New South Wales, from Valentine, and Siebert seems to be suffering problems, Alan Jones.
Yeah, Greg, in the lap before this, he was putting his arm in the air, indicating that he may have had some flooding problems, or he might have been slowing down during the corner. I think he was trying to tell the other guys, look, I'm not doing this, I'm not brake testing you or anything, I'm having legitimate problems, and he was putting his hand. But we did see David Baker do a fabulous toe down the straight and pulled out, and a classic overtaking toe into turn 1. So Ron Valentine looks a bit of a dark horse as well, Greg. He's just sort of hanging back there.
He certainly is. We're just waiting for a move from him. Baker at this point in time as your leader down into turn number 4. This is Valentine from South Australia. Kart number 25, the Castrol machine, and looming large in behind him is one Jared Siebert from South Australia. So looking good on the circuit is Baker at the moment, and Valentine just waiting for a mistake from our leader.
Well, that's right. These things, you can't afford to go wide or miss a gear. They've got a sequential gearbox, by the way, which is a motorbike type of gearbox. It's just straight through, no clutch. Very similar to what the Super Tourers use. In relation to their tyres, they're a slick tyre. Oh, a little bit of a lock-up on the front right, going in a bit deep there and just taking the weight off that front right-hand corner, which locks it up. Tyres have been a little bit of a problem. They were blistering a little bit on Friday. Now, of course, we had the rain last night. It's washed all the rubber off and it makes the track a little bit abrasive. So we could see the kart sliding around a little bit more as the race progresses.
On to the front straight here at Eastern Creek for... We've got around about 1.5 laps left to run in this particular one. Look at Baker really starting to streak away with it now. Valentine in second place, Siebert in third. This is just a tremendous category of racing, Alan Jones. A club-level form of motorsport. They've got entry-level 80cc machines, but these are the echelon machines, the best in the business.
Well, I mean, you can literally get Formula 1 power-to-weight ratio type racing. I mean, admittedly, the most expensive ones can cost up to about $25,000, but you can get into the sport for $8,000 or $9,000. Oh, see, sliding around there, $8,000 or $9,000. So, I mean, a real buzz.
Exactly right. Well, they are on their last lap now. It looks as though Valentine, who suffered yesterday, I might add, with problems. The tyres have been blistering throughout the course of qualifying and practice, and that happened to him yesterday, and it looks as though he's getting a little bit ragged in the closing stages of this one. I think he could be suffering that problem once again.
Yeah, it certainly looks that the kart's definitely sliding around both on the entry and exit of the corners. So they're probably just getting a little bit warm, a little bit tired, and sort of giving up the ghost a bit.
Take nothing away from this man. He is our leader, David Baker, a shipyard consulting machine. He runs a Stockman chassis. It's an Australian designed and built machine. And in behind him, of course, we've got Siebert and Valentine. Valentine running an Eliminator chassis. That's Australian designed and built as well. So out of turn number 9 for the final time, Baker. What a handy lead he's got for himself.
Yeah, isn't it terrific to see Australian-built chassis really giving it to the imported ones?
Exactly right. through there now towards turns 11 and 12 for the final time. Valentine starting to come under increasing pressure from Siebert. Starting to come into play in this one also is kart number 29, Jason Maros, in a Zip chassis machine. A Zip chassis, of course, hailing from the UK, an international make of chassis. Across the strike for the final time, taking the checkered flag is this man, Baker. What a great run from him. Valentine.
Oh!
Tell you what, I think Valentine only just got it on the mark. Siebert should take third place. What a terrific race. This is great stuff in Superkart terms. Of course, we saw a victory there for Baker, the talented New South Welshman. He's doing very well again in the New South Wales Series this year. He came second last year. He's only been racing for 18 months in superkarting terms and has really taken to this like a duck to water. Here we see that photo finish.
Yeah, Valentine by a quarter of a kart. You can't get much closer than that.
You can't get any better racing than that. This man is one very happy chappy indeed. Just recapping them for you, it's Baker from Valentine, Siebert from South Australia takes third, from Jason Maros, Alan Rose, the UK driver who moved to Australian shores a little while ago, doing a good job to grab fifth, and Woodgate coming in for sixth. Folks, we'll take a short break and come back to the creek right after this.